Do you feel as though you've been in prison with your kids for 472 days too? Your house never clean, losing sleep, no time to yourself? Well, you're not alone.
Welcome to another episode of Surviving Real Life. I'm Matt and this is Daryl, and on today's episode we tackle how you can survive with one or more kids during the quarantine.
So since March break, everyone's world has basically been turned upside down. It's been a difficult time for everyone, but I'm going to go on a limb and say it's been extremely hard for parents at home with little monsters. I mean, it started off all right. We built snowmen, forts, tunnels in the snowbanks. Oh, and even better, my daughter was actually sleeping at least once a day. But slowly our world started to crumble. No more parks, no more grocery store visits, no more Nana Papa, and alas, no more naps.
But don't fret. Now, there may not be a way out, but we're here with some helpful tips on surviving the quarantine with kids. On today's episode, our 3 survival tips are physical activities, arts, crafts, and massive messes, and lastly, teaching your kids.
So how do we get our kids super active and, more importantly, fatigued enough so that they'll actually go to bed early? Well, with physical activities, of course. In the winter, we spent quite a bit of time outside building many different things in the snow. The kids got to run around, although it took longer to get them ready than they actually spent time outside. But Dad got some fresh air. And as the nicer weather approached, I took the kids outside to help me with the yard work. They love gardening as much as I do, and I bet my 15-year-old self would kick myself in the butt for even saying that. But we do bug searches, we started practicing sports, and really just spending time outside in 25-degree weather is beautiful. Although one of my favorite things so far is chasing them off the street when a car's coming. But one of the more fun adventures for the kids has been bear chasing. We have bears running wild around where we live. I mean, we're not really in the forest, but I mean, they're so domesticated, they're so hungry that we have bears on our streets daily. So I tell the kids we're going for a walk to find bears on the streets, which gets them walking and more intrigued to be outside. The only downfall is that I don't think I can outrun a bear anymore. So I hope to God we don't meet up with one. So there are countless benefits from being outside. The kids get to expel some energy, a good dose of vitamin D, and it allows Dad to shoot some hoops. Sounds like a win-win situation to me.
But of course, you can't be outside all the time. Back in the house, you've probably noticed, like I have, how impossible it is to keep the house clean with everybody home all day. And yeah, that's bothersome. But in the quarantine, you just have to embrace a bit of chaos and mess to get by. And that leads nicely into our next tip, doing arts, crafts, and other creations. Now sure, arts and crafts don't have to be messy. And if you hate mess, I just suggest leaving the glitter at the store. But with kids, it's not likely going to be clean regardless of what you do. Just prepare yourself for the mess mentally so you and the kids can enjoy the crafting session without any stress. My wife and I hit up the store for coloring books, tons of stickers and other art supplies like pipe cleaners and styrofoam cups. My kids love to color, but they normally get more on their little table or walls than they do on the paper. The upside to this is teaching them to clean up after themselves. I have a picture on my Instagram of the kids scrubbing crayon off the front door. Now, if you want an inexpensive and easy win, try sidewalk chalk. My kids will go outside and draw on the deck or the driveway, and all you have to do is spray it down after. It gets the kids back outside, but it lets them be creative too. Now keep in mind, not all creations have to be on paper with paint. Regardless of their age, your kids will get a kick out of building blocks. Try Legos and Mega Blocks. My son loves to build different kinds of cars or trucks to show me, and sure, they don't look like much, but he's creating, and that's just wonderful. My daughter will sit and build towers, break them, and build them up again. I love playing with Legos, so this is a personal favorite of mine. I get to relive my childhood a little bit, and of course, once the building is done, get them to clean up their mess before they move on to the next game.
Our last survival tip is teaching kids when you're doing any type of actual activity. This requires patience, which by day 472, you might be running out of. I love teaching the kids though. They cook, clean, and do repairs around the house with me. So for example, we bought a batch of ground beef the other night. The kids get to pick whatever seasoning or elements they want to put in it. They wanted maple syrup, which actually turned out quite good. But this is crazy because they actually eat more when they make it themselves. And then they come outside and with daddy and barbecue and flip the patties and think they're cooking. It's awesome. So daddy started to paint the trims all around the house to fix the damage that they've inflicted, which is actually quite a bit when you get on your knees and check out all the little scuff marks they've made. So I got the kids to paint the larger portions like the wall or the doors, which actually turned out to be quite fun and very, very messy. So you might not have liked that one. Lastly, actual teaching gets done as well. My 4-year-old will be entering his first year of school this fall, I'm hoping. And we wanted to give him an advantage. We focused on his number counting, his shapes, comparing objects, and my 2-year-old has benefited from participating as well. This doesn't have to be done daily, but if you can make it fun, they're gonna love it. They actually think they're being entertained, well really they're learning quite a bit of information. So yes, we normally offer 3 tips, but today we have a bonus survival tip for you. Our bonus one is independent time. Look, it's all right to admit that this is a struggle. I'm not perfect. In fact, I have many bad days where I'm quick to lose temper, quick to lose my patience, be unmotivated, or I just don't want to be a dad that day. You're not alone. On those days, they may get slightly more screen time. I may step back while the kids play with each other without me being around. Or I may bring them outside, let them play with each other while I shoot some hoops by myself just to get my mind right. The point is, it's long days for you and it's long days for them. Don't forget, you may be tired of spending 24/7 with them, but they might be tired of spending 24/7 with you. You have to make the best of isolation while it lasts.
Yeah. So look, to recap, bring them outside, tire them out. Remember, the more fatigued they are, the more likely it is they will hopefully go to bed early so that you can get your mind right at night. Number 2, get down on the floor and create with them. They'll appreciate that you're down on their level coloring or building with them, and messes can easily be cleaned. 3rd, teach them. Bring the chairs up to the counter and have them mix a batch of cookie dough. And lastly, don't forget about your mental health because you matter too. Take time for yourself throughout the day and don't feel guilty about them watching Paw Patrol. Get your mind right. So thanks for tuning in to Survive in Real Life. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe for more.